guys, welcome to Cosplay Life. I'm Air Bear.
And I'm Lovebug.
And today we are going to recap our Dragon Con experience.
Yes! We are going to talk about 7 of our lessons learned, and then we're going to add on 3 of our favorite things from this year. So that's going to include favorite cosplays and things that we purchased to make it a nice round list of 10. All right, let's do it.
So number 1 is props can add a lot to your cosplay. So this year was probably my first year having props in my cosplay. I've had some props here and there, but this year I was focused on making sure that all the costumes that I made had props, which helped with taking pictures and knowing what to do with my hands and how to pose. And it also helped people recognize who I was.
And I will just second that. Props, especially for one of my costumes, the Cabbage Merchant, would not have been the same without the props. So definitely props worked out this year for sure. So number 2 is the Rolly book bag. That was a definite improvement from last year because in years prior, not just at Dragon Con, but when we go to Disney World and other places, I would always have to carry a book bag, which works out because you can keep your food, you can keep your water, and it's right there on you. But with cons and cosplays, that can really mess up your costume. So having that rolling book bag was a definite improvement. And when you're getting ready to take pictures, you don't have to, wait, hold on, let me throw this off so that you can get a nice picture of me. You just let go of the rolling book bag and you're pretty much ready to go. So definite improvement for this year, having that rolling book bag.
However, the rolling book bag did have some drawbacks. It kept bumping into people. It got caught on my skirt and clothing a couple of times. He would bump into the escalators.
Every time.
So we may need to figure out a better option for the rolling book bag so that we don't bump into people. So yeah. Number 3 is going shopping in the dealer's den during off times. So the first time that we tried to go to the dealer's den or the shopping area, I think it was either Thursday afternoon or Friday sometime during the day. I think it was Friday.
Yeah, I think it was Friday, yeah.
And so we went there and there was a line to get into the line that was wrapped around the building. So we decided, let's just skip this for today because we don't need to spend time in a line when we could be playing games or learning how to play 7 Wonders Duel. So we ended up going back Saturday morning, which was during the parade, where a lot of people are at the parade, or it's early morning at Dragon Con and a lot of people are just sleeping in. So we went during that time and we were able to walk straight in, and there weren't that many people in the dealer's den, so we were able to slow down and look around a little bit more. We also went on Monday morning as well, which is when a lot of people are moving out of their hotels, so they're too busy to go to the dealer's den to go shopping on that day. So those were 2 off times that we were able to go shopping, and we were able to just walk straight into the dealer's den. So yeah, that's our number 3.
Number 4 is waiting until the last minute to work on your costume. But yeah, waiting until the last minute is definitely just a constant struggle for us. And that's a lesson that we need to learn for next year, because it's not, we can laugh about it and all that stuff, but it really does get you anxious and depressed sometimes. Like as far as thinking back on, man, I had all this time and I'm still working on this costume a week before Dragon Con.
Also, when you are spending less time on your costumes because you're waiting to the last minute, your costumes aren't as great as you wanted them to be, which can also make you sad or depressed about what you're having to wear or what you're left with wearing. And also physically, it just gives you less time to practice being in your costume. So like sometimes you may realize that certain things hurt or certain things are dangerous or things like that. And because you didn't make your costume soon enough, you didn't have time to test drive it all of these things were things that happened to me. I didn't have time to test drive my costumes. And so I didn't know that, hey, I don't know how to walk upstairs, or I can't see my feet when I get onto an escalator. Also something kind of dangerous. So not being able to have time to test drive it, walk around the cosplays, get used to being in them, and figure out what sort of pitfalls you have or what sort of accommodations you may need for your costumes in order to make them safer and in order to make it easier for you to just exist in that costume all day. If you make your things earlier, you will have more time to figure those things out.
Right.
I mean, we know all this, but we have went ahead and we have decided what our costumes are going to be for Dragon Con 2022.
Yes.
We have each day figured out. Now we just need to actually start on those costumes.
Exactly. And we need to remember this. Remember this.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5 is having a game plan for food. So that worked positively for me, not so positively for him. So I had a plan for me, and I asked him if he wanted to plan, but he waited until the last minute, so he was stressed out and was like, I don't have time to come up with a plan for food. I just need to make costumes.
True.
And so he had no plan for food.
But luckily, I have an awesome wife who, even if you don't have a plan, you can piggyback off of her plan, which is what I did for the most part. I just need a plan for next year. Yeah, plan for food. Now let's move on to number 6. Number 6 is going to be bringing a wagon. Let me explain. So where we were as far as packing, this is for the stuff that you bring. Your costumes, they have to go into something. Hey, you're going to put it in a trash bag? You're going to put it in a suitcase? You're going to put it in some grocery bags? We said yes to all of those things.
I didn't put anything in a trash bag.
I briefly put something in a trash bag. I did decide against it, but let me tell you what we should have done from the beginning was having a wagon. You've probably seen these things if you've gone to
the
beach, or hey,
if
you've just gone to the park. They're wagons. They're these big, a lot of times made out of cloth so they can collapse, but wagons that you can put your stuff inside of. So if you do decide to bring a bunch of duffel bags or kind of a mix of suitcases and plastic bags or anything like that, you can put all of that inside of a wagon so you're not strapped down with duffel bags and plastic bags and having to hold a suitcase, and you got your props over here that you don't want to get crushed.
For me, anything that doesn't have wheels on it needs to, either you need to figure out something that does have wheels that you can put it in, or put it in a wagon. Number 7, if at all possible, all of our cosplays need to have a pocket or some pocket alternative. So there are some cosplays where it would be difficult to have a pocket, but figuring out something that you can put your stuff in, like other than just a rolling book bag, when you want to have quick access to your phone in order to take pictures. That's what's the main thing, is being able to quickly take pictures, because when you see someone doing something awesome or walking around with something awesome, you don't want to bend over, unzip your book bag, take out your phone, you sit up, they're gone. So if you just have your pocket, you can whip it out, take a picture, put it back into your pocket, good to go. And then also when you're purchasing things, you know, like, oh, well, it's in my pocket, we're good.
Number 8, our favorite moments. For me, I'd say that my favorite moment was me as a cabbage merchant, and the first picture that I posed for. Cabbage merchant, he's got this whole thing with his cabbages always being destroyed, and yells, "My cabbages!" So yeah, the first time that I did that, and people weren't expecting it, just came out of nowhere. That was my favorite moment.
My favorite moment wasn't actually just a moment, it was just more a panel or a thing. But my favorite is the Villain Vogue fashion show. It was really inspiring and really cool to see all of those costumes. And also one of my favorite cosplays was in the Villain Vogue fashion show.
Yeah, good one.
Next up is number 9, which is our favorite cosplays. So one of my favorite cosplays, as I said before, was in the Villain Vogue fashion show. It was, I don't know what his name was. I wrote it down, but it was someone from Spider-Man. It was a villain from Spider-Man. But the cosplayer had lights in their cape. I have a picture of it, but you can't, none of the pictures do it justice. You can't really see how excited I was. But like the cape was moving. Mysterio, that's what it was. It was Mysterio. The cape was moving and there were lights like in, because at first I didn't notice it. I thought it was just blue. Like that part of the cape was just blue. And I realized, no, it's lit. That cape is lit. Mm-hmm. So anyway. That was one of my favorite cosplays because I was just, like, I know you can put lights in clothing, but just the execution of it was much more than what I've seen in the past, where like you can see the line of lights or you can see where someone has put fairy lights into their skirt or whatever. This was, the fabric is lit. Like they made it out of magic or something. So those were my favorite cosplays on other people. Now, my personal favorite cosplays that I made, that I wore this year, well, I'm only supposed to choose one, but I had 2. One of them was Ariel, but Ariel was very uncomfortable, but she looked really good. My favorite one is probably going to be Rafiki, because I love the way I did it. Like everything on Rafiki, I personally designed or made or edited something. Like nothing was just straightforward, except maybe the shirt. But everything was like the fabric. I couldn't find the fabric I wanted, so I had to make my own. I had to make a fabric. I had to make a design on the fabric. The necklace I made, Rafiki's staff, I almost ended up in tears because the first way to do it didn't work, and so I had to figure out another way to do it. And I've never done anything like that before. And I had to order shoes for it. I've never ordered shoes for a cosplay before. Like Rafiki, the mask. I had to make a mask. Like, well, I mean, I made masks before, but I had to paint more fabric because I couldn't figure out how to make the mask. The wig. There was an original wig that was not working, that I was trying to wrap fabric around in order to make it the right color. Like I spent so much time looking for this wig, and then I ordered it and it's the wrong color, and then I just went with this other wig. But like there was so much that went into Rafiki. Like when you look at Rafiki, you don't realize that it's that much, but there was a lot that I've learned and grown from with Rafiki. So anyway, Rafiki, my personal cosplay best.
Okay, so favorite cosplay. And I'm not sure if we're gonna put pictures in. We probably will put pictures in for some of this stuff. But I tell you what you won't see is a picture of my favorite cosplay on someone else, General Grievous. And that was one of those moments where you're just walking and just not expecting, but you hear or see something where it's like, wait, what? That was General Grievous. And that's one of the costumes that I would actually like. I'd like to cosplay as General Grievous, but I never knew how to do that. And it was in front of us, going the opposite way. And we talked about having pockets where you can have quick access to your phone. That was one of those moments that really brought that to light, where it said, hey, you need this in the future, because General Grievous, much like in the Clone Wars, slipped through our fingers. And
we spent an entire evening looking for General Grievous again.
We did.
We never found them.
Nope. And he was huge, so really hard to miss. I guess not that hard, but yeah, General Grievous was definitely going to be my favorite cosplay.
And that one was really cool too. Whoever was playing General Grievous had the cough down as well, and was like, and had a mask on. Incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite cosplay on someone else. My personal favorite cosplay, talked about it before for my favorite moment. That is the cabbage merchant from Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was definitely like not just my favorite, but it was a crowd pleaser as well. Like that was the most well-received cosplay. People love the cabbage merchant.
So the last thing on our list is to go over some of the things that we purchased. Now we're not gonna go into like super deep depth with all the things, so we'll just show you some of the stuff. Lanyards.
Oh, yes.
Jewelry.
Oh.
A mouse pad. Body paint. We'll let you know how this works out for Maui's tattoos.
Artwork. Ooh. We'll do that one another time.
Also, that's a gift for somebody.
That's a gift for somebody, so we won't show that one.
This is a gift, but I'm fairly sure this person doesn't.
They're not watching.
They're not watching.
And decals for the car.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
So that about does it for the Dragon Con recap video. If you have any comments or questions about anything that you saw in this video, or about our experience, or just need some tips for Dragon Con, leave those in the comment section below.
And if you have any questions about any other cons, let us know, because we want to help. We want to spread the con love, not con crud. Spread the love.
If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you have a friend who's planning on going to cons or starting out going to Dragon Con, make sure you share this video with that friend. If you like this channel, make sure you hit subscribe and click on the notification bell. Other than that, I will catch you all next time. Thank you for watching. Deuces.
Later.